Hi, I'm Jeff, and I have a tip for you. So continuing our series on tokens, let's talk about the data token. And this one is actually really cool, and again, tends to get ignored by a lot of people. So here, I have a table that is showing a whole bunch of sales orders over time, just pure transactional data. So what I can do is you can see that there is a special type of token called a data token. And a data token will use a query to basically define what kind of data is going to be returned out of it. So as an example, why don't we create something that shows the last sales order that took place? So how will we do that? Well, first of all, we're actually going to go and create a data cube. So new data cube, just a blank one. And let's use the table that is defining that metric set that you were just seeing. So it's this one here. So in this data cube, let's go and set up the values so that we know what our last order date is. So to do this, I would start by sorting. Let's do a sort, in this case by date. So I'm going to open the data preview so that we can see what's going on. But if I select date, and I'll just say from top to bottom, and after the sort, what I want to do is show a rank. This will allow me to know who's in those values. So if I look at the sort, let's look at the values. You can basically see that it is sorting this correctly. Yes, it is by month. Perfect. Now, if I do the rank number 1, this is actually showing me who those are. So let's change this rank to be a standard rather than doing that podium style. So now rank 1, that would technically be our last, even though we do have the same dates repeated. All right, that's the last one if we do that type of selection. Now let's add a filter. And in this case, we filter by rank equals 1. Great. Now in doing that, that is our last value. So this data cube is returning it. Let's just call it last. Let's check it in. And then I'm going to go back to the menu. Let's just do it from here. So let's go to tokens. Under setup, tokens. And then we're going to add a data token. So add data token. We'll just call it last sale. And the way this token works is it's going to ask you which cube is going to provide this information. So if I select that data cube last, and in this case, which field, so ours would be date, that is the date of the last one. Now, if you had a table that was returning multiple values, you could use this categorization to figure out even more. So maybe I had 10 data points being returned after that query. This would only use the first one, that kind of idea. So this gives you some additional filtering that you can set. In my case, it doesn't matter. If I just leave it as first, it's fine. So say OK. Now we have our last sale saved. Let's go back to our dashboard, just in another window. This would actually be a lot more appropriate if I had just set it to a single calendar, so single date, because I am selecting the last value. It's not a range. So here you can see this one's pointed to date. Let's go to view. And now I'm selecting last sale. It's going by date, and it's getting that date properly from our table. So hopefully you can see that this opens up a world of possibilities. I can basically create any scenario I want in that data cube and then simply filter by it. And this replaces what a lot of people, including myself, would have done in the past, where they would create like a separate table on the dashboard and then filter it the way they want, and then basically move it off the screen, and then create a script that would read those values and then feed that into the filter. That's kind of a pain, right? To do all that scripting. Now I just simply create a data cube that's going to give me what I want, and the token gives the value. So super powerful. Definitely check this out. Hope it helps.